Yeah, my dog's behind.
It's the best way to start your NFL Sunday. Welcome, everybody, back to Sunday Morning Slants. I'm your host, Matt Watson, joined alongside Mason, Pat, and Ethan. How are we tonight, gentlemen?
Pretty good.
Feeling good.
All right. And as you can tell by the title of this episode, it's the playoffs. The NFL playoffs are here, everybody. We have made it. Normally, the podcast doesn't make it this far. So if you've stuck around with us, we greatly appreciate that. But we have made it to the playoffs, as well as several of your favorite NFL teams. So tonight, we're going to go game by game, breaking down the NFL wildcard slate, and as well as that, giving our Super Bowl prediction before this thing kicks off. So to start, we have 2 games on Saturday. We then have 3 games Sunday, 1 game Monday night to wrap things up. The first game of the playoff slate are the Carolina Panthers, the winner of the NFC South, hosting the Los Angeles Rams. This is a 4-5 matchup. And Ethan, I'm going to start with you because you were the only one of us who predicted the Panthers will win the division. They did, despite having a losing record and losing in a winner-get-in game, in a sense. But they still found a way in thanks to the Falcons. So I'll go with you. Panthers hosting the Rams. Who do you like in that matchup and why?
So, let's see. I don't know. Are we picking like straight, just like winner straight up, right? Or are we doing like lines?
Straight pick 'em. We don't have
Just
to do
straight pick 'em.
lines. Yeah.
Okay. Because the
What is the
problem
line for
is,
that game?
I think the
6.5.
Rams are like 8.5 or 10.5 point favorites or something like that.
Is
I'll load.
crazy.
10.5 point favorites on the road.
Yeah.
Dude, double-digit point favorites on the road.
Yeesh.
Wow.
I might sprinkle some money on the Panthers.
So the problem is, if this were a betting pod, I would probably pick the Panthers because I did pick them to make the playoffs. Unfortunately, they have kind of looked like trash the last 2 weeks, and they kind of choked the division away after having 2 shots essentially to win it. And unfortunately, I think it would have to go with the Rams. It's a good story. Bryce Young, I mean, I guess he's earned himself another year to see what they can do. They're seemingly headed in the right direction. So if you're a Panthers fan, I guess you got to be excited still. But I think your road doesn't go too much further, especially since they already beat the Rams this year. You can only get lucky once.
I agree. All right, Pat, I'll throw it over to you. Rams at the Panthers. First game. How are we feeling about this one?
Whew. You know, I got Carolina in my heart. You guys know that. I had a lot of friends that were rooting for the Panthers who then started rooting for the Falcons. I love to see the boys. I went and I saw them in their home venue. They lost 9-0 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who then went and played our Eagles the next week. And I thought, well, if the Buccaneers can only score 9 points on the Panthers, and certainly the Eagles can beat them. And then the Panthers absolutely washed the Eagles out of playoffs. But anyway, the Rams are a very capable team. Cannot believe that they are currently sitting at the 5 seed? Unbelievable that they are the 5 seed now, and they've fallen that far. I think very clearly this is the Rams game to lose. I mean, obviously they're 10.5 point favorites. But dang, man, if I don't got some Carolina in my heart, I will be rooting for the Carolina Panthers. And so I'm going to pick them to win because I got a lot of people in my life that love the Panthers, and I have to pick them. So I'm riding with Bryce Young. He's not the answer. He never will be long term. We need to find somebody different. But got to ride with the hometown team. Maybe get a little cookout, get a little Bojangles or something. The team will be ready to go. Get some cheer wine.
We're not sponsored by any of these products.
Get some cheer wine. We'll be set up in the Queen City, Charlotte. Queen City, Charlotte. All right. I'm going to pick the Carolina Panthers.
All right. Pat goes with the upset, the home dogs. Mason, I'll throw it over to you. Rams at the Panthers. Who do you like in this matchup, and why is it the Los Angeles Rams?
Yeah, it's going to be the Rams. I think this is the only game this weekend that would shock me if the other team won. I mean, I guess you could argue Pat's got an argument. They already beat them at home this year, so I mean, I guess it wouldn't be the craziest thing ever, but it would shock me if the Rams lost this game. I mean, the Rams are still looking like contenders, even though they've fallen off a little bit. Obviously, didn't end up winning their division, but I still feel like they're probably the team to beat in the NFC if they're firing on all cylinders. They've had a little stretch here where they've struggled a bit, but I think whoever was getting out of the NFC South was just going to get smacked around. So I'm going to go with the Rams pretty safely here.
All right. And I'm going to follow suit. I'm going with the Rams. I think this is just an example of a team that got a little too hot, a little too early. They cooled down towards the end of the regular season. They ended up losing the division. So I feel like they've kind of gotten the wind knocked out of them a little bit, and now they're starting to pick themselves back up. I think if they were going to lose, they lost at the right time. I think they got back on the right track over the Cardinals in their last game of the season. Obviously, Arizona, not a very good team. They fired Jonathan Gannon afterwards, 3-win team. So they were expected to roll them, and they went out there and took care of business. So I expect the Rams to pick up a win. Stafford's going to go back to the divisional round against, I guess we'll end up seeing who that'll be. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Rams. We'll have to get Kyle and Luke's picks later on. But all right, 3 for the Rams, 1 for the Panthers. Pat going with the home upset. So, all right. And before we get into the next game, which is the Bears and the Packers, I wanted to reference the playoff draft. So if you missed the episode a few weeks back, we did a playoff draft before all the seeds were decided. We picked teams, at that point, based on will they get in, you got points for winning the division, you got points for making the playoffs. Those teams will get points for winning games. If they go to a conference game, if they go to the Super Bowl, you get more points, etc. So wanted to just kind of update everybody heading into the playoffs where we're at with that currently. And so Kyle leads the way with 16 points. He got the Patriots, Broncos, Bears, and Steelers, all division winners, and all obviously make the playoffs, so you get the extra point there. He did pick the Chiefs, who did not make it, so that is his one scratch. Mason is currently in second place with the Rams, Seahawks, Texans, and Jaguars. He got points for the Seahawks and the Jags winning their divisions. He doubled up on both divisions, but he secured the winner in each.
Safe. It was safe, yeah.
You got the safe play. You got the points. So, and then you picked the Dallas Cowboys also, who did not make it. We drafted more teams than there were spots, just for reference, in case you haven't watched that episode. So
I was low key rooting for the Eagles to lose the division so I could get the points.
So you can get the points. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. I'm in third place with 7. I went with the Packers, Ravens, Bills, Niners, and Panthers. I felt the Packers would come back to win the division. Did not happen, but they still made it in, which was key. The Ravens losing on that field goal attempt at the end really cost me. Could have gotten some extra points for that one. So that one hurt. But I do have the Bills, Niners, and Panthers who won the division. That saved me a little bit. Great pick, in that last round. But so the Panthers got me up to 7. And then Pat only has the Eagles and the Chargers left. He did get the division points for the Eagles. You're sitting at 5.
Super Bowl matchup right there.
It's the Super Bowl matchup, and the Eagles are going to win.
Little spoiler, Pat, you probably need the Chargers and the Eagles to make the Super Bowl to win this.
Can I win? Like, I'll have to have you do the math after this.
We'll have to do the math.
If they make the Super Bowl and when the Eagles win, will it even be enough? I don't even know.
Depends on how it shakes out for everybody else, I'm sure. But yeah, we'll see if you could still technically win this thing. But yeah, that is where we are at with the playoff draft. So check out that episode if you haven't already. But all right, we're gonna then head to the NFC North. The Chicago Bears claiming a division title for the first time in a long time. And they will play host to the 7-seed Green Bay Packers. Round 3 of this matchup between these two, they split during the regular season. Mason, I will start with you as a stout Packer hater. Are you going to go with the young Chicago Bears, or are you going to go with the proven veteran team from Green Bay?
Am I a Packer hater? I don't know that.
You were hating on them pretty early in the year. I feel like I might have cooled off because they started losing more games.
Yeah. Actually, I feel like at this point in time, I'm actually a bigger Bears hater. So I'm going to go with the Packers in this game because screw the Bears. I want so badly for the Bears to lose after their idiot head coach. I can't remember his name right now. What's his name?
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson went on the press conference after losing to the Lions, the Detroit Lions, who are beat to shit. Sorry, apologies. From this year and had nothing to play for, and you played all your starters and lost that game, and to have the balls to go on to the press conference after the game and say, well, some teams rest their starters, but, we play hard no matter what. You literally lost a game that would have clinched you the 2 seed by playing all your starters. So out of pure hatred, I'm picking the Packers to win this game. I think they can win the game. I mean, Jordan Love has shown that at times they've had a couple nice stretches in the playoffs. They obviously have more playoff experience than the Bears. I think going into the playoffs with a quarterback who's never had that experience and never had any playoff games. And if we want to talk about it, Ben Johnson sucks in playoffs. So go Pack, go.
All right, Mason
Choked
going
it
with
last year to the
Evans.
Commanders. So
that they did. That he did in Detroit. So okay, so Mason's going with not two upsets, but two lower seeds upsetting the divisional winners.
Two road teams.
Two road teams. The Packers are favored in this game by 1.5 in Chicago.
Are they really?
Yeah. Which
honestly, I feel like they should be.
Most of the wild card teams are favorites over the home teams, and just because they're more proven in a lot of cases. So, all right. So Mason's go with the Packers. I'll stay with me here. I'm also going to go with Green Bay. If you listen at the beginning of the year, I picked the Packers to lose the Super Bowl to the Baltimore Ravens. That one's out. I don't know if I necessarily feel like I'm going to go with the Packers for my Super Bowl pick later. But I do think they've played the Bears tough twice. I think they have more experience. They've been there. They've done that. Like Mason said, Ben Johnson's first time head coaching in the playoffs. First time for Caleb Williams playing in the playoffs. It's the biggest game in Chicago sports in a long time, too. And I just feel like the pressure is going to be felt there. I trust Green Bay to win a close game. And so for that reason, I'm going to stick with the Green Bay Packers, at least for this round. And we'll take it from there. So 2 picks for the underdog. Well, favorite Packers, 7 seed. Kind of weird how this is all shaken out. But Ethan, I'll throw it over to you. Are you going with the young Bears or are you going with the veteran Packers?
See, I think I'm going to take the role as the Packers hater for this one. Like, what my thing is, when you watch the Packers play, what does Jordan Love do that stands out? Like, he has games where he plays well, but like then he just has other games where like it doesn't look like he knows how to play football. And I know he's been hurt in and out kind of parts of this year, and he got activated last week and they sat him, so he should be coming into this game well rested, but I don't know. And from what were they, 2-0-1 or something like that, and then they've basically been a 500 team for the rest of the year since they started off unbeaten, not undefeated, but unbeaten in the first 3 weeks. So I don't know. I think I'm reluctantly kind of bought into Caleb Williams, unfortunately. So I think I'm going to have to go with the Bears on this one. A couple weeks ago, I probably wouldn't have picked the Bears, but I don't know. I think I have a little bit of respect for them, even though I'm not a big Ben Johnson guy either, but I don't know. Caleb Williams has shown some of that first round pick potential finally.
Yeah, he's been looking good. I think that class is looking real good overall. So a lot of representation in this year's playoff. But all right, so Ethan is going with the Chicago Bears. Pat, I'll throw it over to you. You picked the Panthers.
I'm going to pick them anyway. I'm going to stick with that.
I mean, you can't follow the favorite in every game, right? So yeah. You got to pick an upset somewhere. So all right, Pat, I'll throw it to you though. Who are you going with, the Bears and the Packers?
This one's a tough one, but I'm going to go with the Pack. I'm going to back the Pack. The reasons are threefold, and I'm going to make them up right now. The first reason is, listen, I think that when you're talking fan bases in the NFL, like I'm thinking like, okay, you're playing an away game, atmosphere is going to matter a lot. You're in Chicago, it's cold, right? Green Bay's already got the cold part covered. Secondly, I think that the Packers have like a top 3 fan base in the NFL. Like, I'm not kidding. Every single person I've ever met from the Wisconsin area just bleeds the Packers. Like, they love the Packers. So I think they're going to pack out Soldier Field. I think that they're going to show up. I think it's going to feel like a home game for Green Bay. And I think they're really going to actually show out and support their team, even though they were 9-7-1 this year and snuck into the playoffs as a 7 seed. Additionally, I don't know if y'all have seen the Bears' defensive numbers, but they have a positive 22 turnover differential, which is insane. They have 23 defensive interceptions. And with that being said, Jordan Love, I don't really know if he throws a lot of INTs or not, but I do know that Aaron Rodgers, when he was on the Green Bay Packers in Madden, had the X factor that he was unpickable. So I think Jordan Love's going to be unpickable in this game. I think they're going to take care of the ball well. I think he doesn't throw a pick under half an interception. Somebody take that line out there. And I think that the Packers are going to bring it to him. They're a tried, tested team. Jordan Love, he's been in the league a couple more years. I think he's got the mental game a little bit down. And I just don't love the Bears. They just feel like the weirdest 2 seed you've ever seen in your life. So and what Mason said about the press conference, which I didn't know until he said it. So that as well. Go Pack, go.
We play real football.
And the cheese grater thing. I
kind of like how that's become a thing this year.
That's going to be the thing. Caleb Williams wearing the cheese grater had to give out food in was that Caleb Williams? That was Caleb Williams, right? I saw that somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you're referring to, but
I believe he was wearing the cheese grater.
So that's why.
Yeah.
There you go.
Still running too early.
Okay. All right. So we have Ethan going with the Bears. The rest of us are going with the Green Bay Packers. So that'll conclude Saturday's slate of games, which I think is going to be very exciting.
Kind of surprising that it's 3 Packers picks. I don't know if I was expecting that. I don't know why.
I thought I was going to be the only one to pick the Packers, honestly. But
you clearly don't know me in upsets.
Yeah, technically they're favorites, but it's regardless. Okay, so that moves us over to Sunday, where we have the Jacksonville Jaguars hosting the Buffalo Bills, and what I will call right now the best game of this weekend. I think this is going to tear the house down between the Jags and the Bills. You have Trevor Lawrence, who's had limited playoff success. He has won a few games in the postseason, but he's really never gotten far. He's been a franchise quarterback, and I think this year has cemented him as a top 10 guy. He's finally, in my opinion, that established veteran that they were hoping he would be. I think Liam Cohen has done wonders for him. He's always had that potential. He's always flashed, but I think this year very much legitimized him. Against Josh Allen, who I came on here at the very beginning of the year before the games kicked off, and I said, this is Josh Allen's last chance to win a Super Bowl. And people gave me a lot of shit for it, but if we're being completely honest, this is the easiest path to the Super Bowl he will ever have. No Mahomes, no Lamar, no Burrow. He is clearly the best quarterback left in the postseason. And I think this has to be the year for him, or else it's just not going to happen. So you have 2 teams. Obviously, all these teams are fighting for their lives, and they're all hungry. They're all great, etc. But I don't think there's a more hungry team than the Buffalo Bills. So for that, I'm going to kick things off, and I'm going to go with the Bills here. I know I have them in my draft. I just feel like this has got to be their year. And so if it's not, then holy shit, we're going to have a really great conversation about Josh Allen after his season ends. But I'm going to kick things off. The Bills are going to go on the road to Jacksonville, pick up a win. I have 3 road teams winning the first 3 games. All technical upsets. Again, the Bills are favored in Jacksonville by 1.5. So again, just a wild card team is being viewed as the better team. So we're going to go with the Buffalo Bills. So, all right, Pat, I will throw it to you. Bills, Jags. Who do you like and why?
This one's honestly a tough one because I really didn't realize the Jags were playing as well as they were until about 3 weeks ago because I am a fake fan. But I have to go with the Bills as much as it hurts me. Just because while I feel that Josh Allen is a perennial playoff choke artist, and I think he will continue to be, I think Josh Allen will one day become Josh Johnson. But for right now, I think he has what it takes to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, who I can't even name their number 1 wide receiver. So
they have one of the best wide receiver crews in the league.
See, man, but it's auraless because I don't know what it is. So that's the thing about the Jacksonville Jaguars is they just don't have names that pop. Trevor Lawrence from Clemson, Travis Etienne
Jacoby Myers
from Clemson.
Somewhere. Oh, Jacoby Myers. Never mind. Wait, I might have to pick the Jags now. Never mind. I'll pick the Bills. But I will be rooting for my boy Jacoby Myers, NC State legend. Shout out Jacoby Myers. I'm gonna go with the Bills. I'm gonna keep it serious right now. I'm gonna go with the Bills. Josh Allen.
Wait a minute.
Josh Allen's experienced, but take Jacoby Myers as overs.
But what does it mean when you say that Josh Allen is going to be Josh Johnson? I don't really know what.
Josh Allen's like the perfect journeyman quarterback. Like Josh Allen's gonna lose out of the playoffs this year, and then one day he's gonna be juking out the Keely Ringos of the world. All right, that's what he's gonna be doing.
Pat, Josh Allen is the reigning MVP.
Josh
I can't believe Pat just called the receiving core Orless.
Josh Allen, he's got off the field things going on. All right, he's not going to be focused.
He got married and has a child on the way. That's the
exactly.
The New England Patriots
which is why he doesn't care anymore.
That's where the fall-offs happen.
Lost on the inside now.
Brady, Rodgers, some other notable quarterback.
Terrible marriages, all of them. Yeah.
Well, Brady loved winning so much that he left the first person that he had a kid for, and he ignored that one for a while.
You want to be a great NFL quarterback? Don't be committed to your wife or girlfriend.
Anyway,
just look at CeeDee Lamb.
Shout out Jacoby Myers.
All right, so Pat's going with the Bills. Ethan, I'll throw it to you. Bills, Jags, Buffalo, on the road in Jacksonville. Who do you like and why?
I don't know if I want to be different, but I think I have to go with the Bills too. Like it's kind of the same thing where like if it's not like the Jags, I mean, this kind of feels like it could be the beginning of something good for them. Like Liam Cohen seems like he's like a real coach apparently, and like he could kind of maybe not like he kind of gives me like AFC Sirianni vibes, except he's not as he's like kind of because he's kind of like goofy like that, but he's more like he actually calls plays where Sirianni doesn't. So I don't know. I think I'm still gonna go with the Bills. I think the Jags are gonna have more chances, but yeah, this is like the do or die season for Josh Allen. I mean, winning 4, or it would technically be 3 road playoff games and a neutral site game. Winning 3 road games to get to the Super Bowl would be tough, but I mean, he's never going to have an easier path of opponents than this year right now. So I think I'm going to have to pick him.
All right, 3 picks for the Bills. Mason, last pick, Buffalo. Oh
man, are we going to get the clean sweep? It's the dagger. I'm picking the Jags.
Wow.
It's the dagger. Ooh. I think ESPN Monday morning, we're talking about, is Josh Allen ever going to win a Super Bowl? And he's probably not. I don't know, man. I like the Jags. They had their statement win a few weeks ago against the Broncos. The one thing I will say about the Jags, which I just Googled to confirm, they do have a stellar run defense this year, which is big because I feel like if the Bills can't get their running game going, they kind of just fall flat. I mean, you saw it in the Eagles game. I know James Cook was like kind of beat up in there, but they become one-dimensional once you take that away. So I think that could play big in their favor, and I think the Jags are cooking right now, and I like them. And I think it would, like I said, I'm drafting up my agenda now that Josh Allen, like Matt had claimed earlier this year, we're going to be talking about how could he lose this game? This was the best chance he had. How did he blow it this early? That's going to be what we're talking about next week.
It's just prime time. It's ready.
It's
for
there.
The dialogue.
The articles have been written already. They're just waiting to get
start a conversation.
Well, because the NFL's already released the script.
Yeah, the script's been out to the writers for a while. I actually have a copy here. All right. So we have 3 picks for the Bills, 1 for the Jags. We have yet to pick a clean sweep. So that's interesting. I kind of thought we'd be in line with a few of these. So
all right. This next one.
This was the closest one, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Because now we're heading to the 4:30 slot. The Philadelphia Eagles will host the San Francisco 49ers in a huge matchup. It's a rivalry renewed for the postseason a few years back. These two teams, I don't believe they played last year, but the year prior, they played in the regular season.
This is the first meeting since the Big Dom game.
Yep. Yeah,
since him and Drake. That's the last Eagles game I went to in person. Where that place was juiced up for that. I'm not gonna lie. That was a great atmosphere until about halfway through the third quarter when the whole rest of the season collapse kind of started. From then on forward.
Tough.
And so just to preface, if you're listening to this for the first time, I'm in a room with all Eagles fans right now.
Oh yes.
So these 3 are all Eagles fans. So I have a feeling I know where some of these picks are gonna go. So Pat, I have to start with you. Eagles and the 49ers. What do you got?
I'd like to say that this is a tough one, but it's not close. I got the Birds. I got the Birds by by 10, by 20, by 30, by 40. I'm putting my kids' college tuition on it. I'm putting his kids' college tuition on it. I'm putting my life savings on the Philadelphia Eagles to go in, finish business. I hope Keely Ringo's watching from his couch. I hope he's watching from the employment center. I hope he's watching from somewhere that is not on the sidelines or in the secondary, because good gracious, Keely Ringo, we need to get him on LinkedIn. We need to get him another job ASAP because he cannot cover. Anyway, no, I'm picking the Eagles. But I'll tell you what, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter be like, oh, this is so easy. It's the 49ers. We got so lucky. Da, 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 da. I'm scared for this game in a way that I haven't been scared for a game in a while, because we talked about it last time. Like, the starters haven't played for a week. They always come out rusty, I feel like. Jalen always shows up in the big moments, but I'm worried about the rest of the team right now. And I don't know that I could stand an Eagles loss in the first round. It would be kind of heartbreaking. So I'm really, really nervous. I'm going to watch this game really nervous. I hope and pray we go up by 2 scores to start the game, and then I can just turn it off like I'm the Denver Broncos. But I'm worried. But I have to take the Eagles everything. I'm putting my 4-3-B on it. I'm putting the matching on it. Everything is going on the Eagles.
You're taking money out of your S&P 500 index.
I'm taking money out of retirement. I'm paying the penalty because I know when I slap it on the money line, plus Jalen Hurts 5 anytime touchdowns, I'm going to make the penalty back and more. All right?
Is that 5 rushing touchdowns or 5 passing touchdowns?
It's both. It's 10 total. Okay. Sorry, I should have specified that. Not real financial advice.
1-800
is not a gambling website. All right, so Pat is going with the Birds, staying in the Eagles fan category. Mason, I'll go to you.
Eagles, Niners. No.
No, come on, dude. Don't say
This is tough. Do I speak with my heart or my head? I go with the Eagles, I guess. I don't know. I like, in my mind, I'm like, last week we saw the 49ers only put up 3 points, and like the Eagles defense is pretty good. And that's what I see a lot from 49ers fans right now is like, once you go up against a really good defense, is it going to be able to work? But the real big question to me is, even if, which I don't think the Eagles defense, like, I know we just saw it, but I don't think we're holding them to 3 points. Can we hold them to less than 20 points? I think so. Can the Eagles offense score more than 20 points in the National Football League? I do not know, but I believe that they can, and I will pick the Eagles.
With Tanner McKee, they did.
They did not.
Yeah,
they scored 17.
I don't give you watch, buddy.
Well, it was in spirit. Really.
The
last
aura
I
had
could have sworn
25.
the score of that game was 27-24. But anyway, Tanner McKee, they could with the starters.
Hold on, I do want to look in how many of their recent games, because I'm pretty sure they haven't scored over 20 points in a while. Let's see. 17, 12. Okay, never mind. They had the Commanders and the Raiders game in there. But then before that, 19, 15, 21, 16, 10.
Yeah, they're like 27th, I think, in the league in scoring per game or something like that. Am I correct on that?
I think so, yeah. They're averaging like 23 points a game or something. So I guess average-wise, they can get there. But I don't actually know if they can get there.
Lowest points per game to win a Super Bowl is. I wonder what that is.
Probably the Broncos in 2015.
Shout out the Broncos.
You actually might be right. Like,
I'll
honestly
do the Googling while you guys give real opinions.
All right. Well, so we have 2 picks for the Birds. Ethan, I'll let you go finish up the Eagles fan round. Do you have the Eagles beating the Niners?
Yep, I'm also gonna go with the Eagles. I mean, listen, what's the point of being a fan if you're not gonna root for the teams that you want to win? That's what I say. So, I think it's a big deal that Lane Johnson is going to replace Fred Johnson. Fred Johnson doesn't get his uniform dirty. He's always got his hands on his hips, looking at the play after it's happening, after Saquon's been tackled behind the line of scrimmage. So I think it'll be good. It'll be good. Hopefully the offensive line can play better because that's really what it comes down to. Can they run the ball? And because we haven't seen them be able to effectively pass the ball this entire year or run the ball, but we know that when they can run the ball effectively, they can beat anybody. So I think that's what it's going to come down to. The Niners are going to have McCaffrey, and he's going to do his thing with, he's probably going to do, what he's going to have, probably 80 rushing yards and 80 receiving yards, or do his normal thing like he did in the NFC Championship game and every time they play him. But I'm going to have to go with the Eagles. It's just when they're playing, when they're more talented overall, the Niners are a little gimpy of a team. So, and when the Eagles can play their brand of football, I think that they should still be the favorite to come out of maybe even the NFC still. We'll say.
Eagles are 4.5-point favorites in this game at home. So Vegas, I think that's the first home team to be a favorite. And this is the fourth game. Yeah. So interesting.
I have the answer, by the way.
What do you got, Pat?
So the 2000 Ravens.
Oh, that's another good one. Yeah.
They averaged 15.9 points per game.
That is honestly crazy. So
maybe the crazier part is they allowed 10.3 points per game, which is also the lowest, I believe, by a Super Bowl winning team. And speaking of the Ravens, I don't know if you guys saw the Harbaugh news, but according to Schefter, 7 teams have called to express interest in hiring him.
7.
Yeah, there's only 6 teams with openings.
There's only
the Philadelphia Eagles are looking for an offensive coordinator. Anyway, not to distract, but little fun fact for you there.
All right. Well, thank you, Pat, for the fact. If you missed Pat's Steagles tirade in the last episode,
it's cut up. It's available.
It is available on all podcast platforms and YouTube. All right. So
good, Matt. Good.
Save me, San Francisco, baby. I'm going with the Niners.
There you go.
All right.
There's no.
But he just wants to be different. There's no shot.
No shot that I
no shot
with the Niners.
Oh, I thought you were saying there's no shot the Eagles are going to win.
He's afraid to see the birds. He's afraid his.
I feel like there's a shot. Birds. This game could go either way.
This game could definitely go either way. I think
the Niners
are playing great right now. They have been on fire. I think Brock Purdy, the last
they scored
month,
3 points last week.
I don't really count last week. The last week they already knew they were already pretty much in. I think a lot of teams just kind of, limped on in.
The Eagles.
Brock Purdy's been on fire over the last month.
Didn't he also get hurt in that game? Or is he all right?
I think he's fine. I mean,
I think he got blasted on their last possession or something.
It was his last, the last pass of the game with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. He got friggin'
he got rocked,
demolished. He laid down for a little bit, but he walked off the field. So I think he's all right.
Purdy will be fine. I think what he did against the Colts defense a few weeks back. And I know everybody got caught up with the Colts offense at the beginning of the year, but their defense was great all season until they inevitably collapsed as well. Just watching Purdy just drop back and throw dimes, and then against Chicago, which Chicago doesn't have the best defense in terms of point prevention, but like Pat said, they do a phenomenal job of turning the ball over. And Chicago did early in that game, but then the Niners were able to just put up points, and they did it so effortlessly. I feel as though their chemistry might be the best it has been in the last few years. They don't have Debo anymore. They don't have Ayuk as distractions. They have more of a team, I feel like, in that, regard. I don't feel like it's an individual player or not. It's a new Niners team in a sense. They've lost some of the veteran players. They've shelved the new talent. Plus, I just think that they enjoy this battle with Philly. I think they welcome it. I don't think it's a situation where they're concerned about going into Philadelphia. I think it's an environment that they have experience playing in. And for that, I think it's going to be a tight game. I don't think either team breaks 20. But I do think that the 49ers are going to get the job done. And I think, kind of like Ethan said, I think McCaffrey is going to be the player of this game. I think he had, I don't know if he got there, but I know he was close to 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving, which is
I'm pretty sure he did get there.
Did he get there? I wasn't sure if he did reach that milestone or not.
I think I saw. I'll check that, but I think I saw a graphic that he's only the second player to do that multiple times in their career or something like that.
Which is just nuts. I mean, for a guy his size, too, even crazier. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Niners. We're not going to have a sweep quite yet. But I think it'll be a good game. It'll be fun to watch. I think Sunday's got the best slate of games. So I think back-to-back bangers, Bills, Jags, Eagles, Niners. And I just want to point out,
he had 1,200 rushing yards and he had 924 receiving yards.
Damn.
With how many total touchdowns? 17 total touchdowns. So average a touchdown a game.
That's a dog right there. All right. So then the final game we have on Sunday will be the 2-seed New England Patriots hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. Ethan, you've always had a soft spot in your heart for these Chargers. I'll let you start here. Do you think the 7-seed Chargers can go into Foxborough and upset the new regime of Vrabel and Drake May?
All right. So I've had this stat locked and loaded for today, but Mike Vrabel has a losing playoff record. To be fair, Drake May is better than Ryan Tannehill. But that doesn't take away from the fact that he's only 2-3 in his playoff games, where Jim Harbaugh is 5-3 in his playoff games. So just something to see. I mean, it's been a lot longer since Harbaugh coached his playoff games, but still, those wins still count. They still are in the history books. But I think I'm going to be different. I don't know where you guys are going to go, but I'm not buying the Patriots just yet. I'm going to take the Chargers because I don't think I even picked the Chargers to make the playoffs earlier this year, if I remember correctly.
Half the Patriots are going to be in jail, so
exactly. Patriots, despite looking pretty good for literally the entire season, I don't know if they have a lot of momentum coming into this game, not due to their play on the field, but mostly off the field. I mean, Mike Vrabel is probably going to be preaching just to keep all that stuff out of their minds for the whole week, but I don't know. I think it's time I think Herbert's due for a moment. If ever there was a time for the Chargers to break the Charger curse, it would be now. And I don't know. The Patriots, I think it's one of those things where I feel like they got too good too fast, and they're due for a bump in the road before they can really take off. Not that they don't have a bright future still, but I don't know. I don't know if I buy him as a deep playoff threat just yet. We'll see.
All right, Ethan's going with the Chargers. I'm going to piggyback on this one with you. This is the greatest hate watch I think I'm going to have in quite some time. And so for me,
I think objectively this is a good game too.
It's going to be a very good game.
This is going to be entertaining.
It should be anyway, right?
This is kind of like a classic mid 2000s playoff matchup.
Except you don't have to worry about the Brady factor.
Yeah, for our time period, I can imagine watching this when we were 8.
Yeah, Rivers and Brady going at it. Rivers still going at it. But so for me, right, being a Bo Nix guy, same draft class as Drake May, the two top teams in the AFC. For me, if the Patriots lose this game, for me, it's just more fodder of the Patriots weren't that good. They quite literally played the weakest schedule possible, one of the weakest schedules in NFL history to get to that point into the 2-seed. Their loss to the Raiders in week 1 is the difference. Them being the 1-seed versus the 2-seed right now. That's the difference. They lost to the Raiders. And then on the flip side for me though, you never want to root for the division rival. Justin Herbert is in year 7, I believe, at this point, and he still does not have a playoff victory. You're having all these rookies and these second-year quarterbacks who are coming in with an opportunity to win their first playoff game before Justin Herbert. Bo Nix has reached the divisional round before Justin Herbert. Just want to throw that one out there.
He also has a crazy playoff collapse on his resume.
I think he has 2. Because I think he threw 4 picks last year.
Oh yeah, and then when they played the Jags, it was they were winning 28-0 at halftime or something like that, and then they ended up losing.
So for me, either one works, because there's an agenda for me to play with after the fact. But if I had to pick between the
what if they tie?
A tie would be great. They just call it, and then both teams they combine to play the Broncos the following week.
You go into 6th overtime, and there's no one has any players left. Nobody has any
players left. Real Steagles vibes. Back-to-back week mentions.
Shout out Steagles.
But I think the Chargers are the better team overall. I think they're more battle tested. I like what they're able to do. They play great defense. They're going to run the ball. They're going to be physical. And I think that they're going to catch New England off guard. I think the Chargers actually win this game handedly. I think they win by more than one score. I think it'll be a good game. New England's favored by 3.5. I'm going to piggyback with the Chargers. And, Ethan and I will rock the baby blue and the yellow. So 2 picks for Los Angeles. Mason, I'll go to you here. Chargers, Patriots, great game. Who would you like in this one?
I thought I was going to be different. I think I'm going to go with the Chargers too, actually.
Ooh.
I don't know. I feel like I kind of agree with all the same things. Like the one knock on the Patriots this year has been the weak schedule. They have a couple nice wins, but overall, like just a very weak schedule. And I think that's why Drake May's had such a great year. Kind of the same thing on the other side that I talked about in the NFC, just not trusting playoffs that don't have much, or not trusting quarterbacks that don't have much playoff experience. And I know Justin Herbert hasn't had the greatest success, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of off the field stuff that's surrounding them right now that could definitely play a factor, which is unfortunate for the Patriots, but that's the Patriot way, I guess. I don't know. That's why they used to only have white guys on the team, or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be a pretty good game. I believe the Patriots are still favored 3.5. So actually the Eagles are still the biggest. Well, actually, because the Steelers are home too. So the Eagles are actually the biggest favorite this weekend, which is kind of wild. At least
biggest
at home.
Home favorite, I guess, right?
Home favorite. The Rams still exist. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chargers to upset here, and Patriots fans can cry for another year before they finally have success again.
All right, this is gonna put Pat in a real tough spot here because Pat does not like Drake May due to his college ties. Are we gonna have a Chargers sweep, or is Pat gonna go with the Pats?
It's not a tough spot. I hate Drake May. It's Chargers all the way, baby. It's not even close. I had my mind made up from the beginning.
This is the wackest sweep. I was not expecting
this one. And it's 7 over the 2.
Can you think about it this way, right? Phillip Rivers, everybody knows NC State legend Phillip Rivers. His son will be the next quarterback at NC State, right?
Is that true?
No, but he did tour, so he might be. Gunnar Rivers, I think is his name.
Well,
Gunnar,
you have a good amount of chances, Pat. He's got a lot of fodder coming this way.
Gunnar Rivers, if you're seeing this, and we know you are, commit to NC State. Anyway, so to me, this is like the proverbial NC State versus UNC game, and I have seen Drake May play in that game. I've been privileged to see him play in that game right before my very eyes, and Drake May got demolished at Carter Finley Stadium. He's not a clutch player. He's not a big-time player. He will panic. He will throw picks. He will fumble the ball. I've watched it all in front of my eyes. Drake May is not a big-time player. He's played the easiest string of opponents you probably could play. And he lost to the Raiders, of all teams. Geno Smith,
big
legend, friend of the show. Yeah, I'm going with the Chargers all the way. And I heard a rumor. I'll let you guys in on a little rumor. Harbaugh had Loop miss the kick, so he got fired because his brother said that little thing I did at Michigan with Connor Stallions, we're doing it again, but we're doing it in Los Angeles. You're going to be there. So expect to see both Harbaugh brothers on the sidelines. One might be wearing sunglasses and a fake mustache. Book it.
Nice.
Alrighty. Again, not gambling advice. All right, so that's going to take us through Sunday. The only sweep that we have so far is the Chargers, the 7, going into New England, beating Patriots.
Who would have
Love
thought
that? I know, right? Who would have thought? Out of all of these matchups,
I love it.
But okay, and then the final game, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who got in on a missed field goal, like Pat just referenced. I don't know if his whole story is accurate or not, but the Steelers will host the red-hot Houston Texans, who I pronounced dead in Week 4. They've come back to life. Did they get to the 5 seed? I think they're the first team in NFL history to start off 0-3 twice and make the playoffs, which is just crazy. And they're not playing on Saturday for the first time in their history, so good for them. Texans at the Steelers. Texans on the road are 3-point favorites. Mason, I'll start with you. Steelers, Texans.
There's only 2 home favorites this weekend. That is
crazy.
I wonder if that's ever happened before. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Texans because the Steelers suck, And Mike Tomlin also sucks. And I don't know how he still has a job in Pittsburgh. Yeah, I don't know. Aaron Rodgers is cooked. This defense is probably going to make his life living hell. Is DK Metcalf back this week? He actually might
back.
be.
He's back for the
But,
Yeah,
he's probably going to punch somebody. I don't know. I mean, it's at home, but somebody will probably piss him off, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the Texans defense is going to be too much for the Steelers to handle. Like, who's been the best Steelers offensive weapon this year? Kenny Gainwell? Like,
Yep.
come on. Come on.
He was voted
Eagles
as
legend.
MVP
Eagles
this
legend.
year.
Got to respect him. But, like, come on. Kenny Gainwell, what's he going to do to this defense? I think the Texans win this probably in ugly fashion. But
I don't know.
I just can't see the Steelers winning a playoff game. Like they limped and backdoored their way in, and still almost needed some help to end up making the playoffs.
All right, Mason's going with the Texans. Ethan, you kind of teased a little bit there. I'll go to you. Steelers Texans.
I don't know. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was that crazy fourth quarter on Sunday night, but I don't know. I'm kind of feeling a little Steelers magic here this week. I don't know what it is. I think Aaron Rodgers has a couple big throws left in the tank still. So I don't know. I think I might take Aaron Rodgers. He might like to play football more than CJ Stroud does, CJ Stroud, he says that he's not in the best shape anymore. So
he likes the podcast.
Exactly.
He does like the podcast.
So I don't know. I think
okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna pick up. I think it's fun. I think that the Texans offense has been terrible all year. They were almost better with Davis Mills to bring back an old pod legend than with CJ Stroud.
Another friend of the show.
Heard.
Exactly. You see how, because they benched CJ Stroud in the second half of that game, and you saw of week 18, Davis Mills comes in there. He's slinging the rock all over the place again. 32 points is more than probably more than CJ Stroud has scored all year. So that's all I have to say about that. But they're not going to pull him, obviously.
All right, Ethan is going with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and so am I, baby. This is the only home team I have winning this weekend. I just think for the Steelers, how many times are they going to get into the first round and get bounced? I feel like at some point the law of averages have to come back in their favor.
Playoff games since what, like 2018?
It's been a long time since they won a playoff game. I don't know, man. I just feel like the Texans have played so perfect the last 3 months that they're due for a letdown. And unfortunately for them, I just think it's going to be here. I think for whatever reason, there's no logical reason to pick the Steelers. I don't think they do anything better than the Texans. And even the fact that they're home, I don't really think that matters. Just for some weird reason, I feel like Pittsburgh's going to win this game.
They got a little Aaron Rodgers magic behind it. I don't know.
Left in him.
I don't know. Is it a new vaccine? Who knows? But he's giving it out this week.
Well, he wouldn't have taken it. I'll tell you that. So, all right, Pat, I'll leave it with you.
You know what's so funny, fellas, is I'm hopping on the Steelers train. I am hopping on the Steelers train. I think the Steelers, bad football team. Texans, good football team. Performing well this year. Doing great. Revived. I'm still picking the Steelers. The reason I'm picking the Steelers is I know that the Texans have a deadly defense, but I'm going to harken back to that Madden X factor of Aaron Rodgers that I foreshadowed earlier in the show. Unpickable. All right? I don't know why, but I really genuinely have to trust Aaron Rodgers, the playoff vet, in this spot. Like, I just feel like he's going to show through. He's got one more game left in the tank. We know Mike Tomlin's going to be coaching for his life. So they're going to crawl some crazy stuff. They're going to play some good football. And the Texans just feel like a team that, like, are destined to just fall right back off. And I don't know if CJ Stroud has the experience. You're going up against a guy who is a killer. Like, Aaron Rodgers does not play. He is was a great football player. And I just think his experience is going to carry the way. And you have to think about it like a rising tide raises all ships. Like, Aaron Rodgers with his veteran presence is going to raise that team up. and Kenny Gainwell with his Super Bowl winning experience, right? You know, they're just going to bring the whole team up with them. So I've got the Steelers in this game. I think I got the Steelers minus 13.5.
Oh, wow. Okay, I don't know about that. But all right, so that'll conclude our picks for Wild Card Weekend.
Wait, I was...
Yeah,
Nobody was paying attention. Yep.
No, not gambling. But okay, that could happen. It could happen. All right, so that will conclude our picks for Wild Card Weekend. We'll see how things shake out, as well as track our playoff draft. One last thing I wanted to do before we wrap real quick is the Super Bowl. We don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, some of our picks might lead to what we think is going to happen in that big game. I'll start. We'll keep it short. I have the Buffalo Bills defeating the Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl 60.
That'd be a fun game.
I think it'd be a really fun game. I think Buffalo finally gets over the hump. Good for Josh Allen. I think the Seahawks are going to prove that they're pretty legit. So I think that'll be a really fun game. Cool uniform matchup too, I think. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Bills over the Seahawks for my Super Bowl pick.
Sam Darnold.
Big game, Sam. But all right, Ethan, I'll throw it to you. Super Bowl 60. Who do you got and why?
I've been saying it for probably 3 years in a row. I picked it at the beginning of the year. I'm going to go with the Eagles over the Buffalo Bills. I think we said it's Josh Allen's year. I think he's going to get there, but the tradition of the Buffalo heartache is going to continue. They go to 0-5 in their history in Super Bowls. Josh Allen becomes the Dan Marino of his day by getting there, but never winning it. So, and the Eagles continue their legacy of winning, adding a new trophy to the case.
All right. Ethan is going with the Eagles to go back-to-back and beat the Buffalo Bills. Pat, I'll go to you. Who do you like in the Super Bowl and why?
I'm going to pick the Eagles to go to the Super Bowl and to win it over an Oregon quarterback. Which Oregon quarterback do I pick? The Denver Broncos is Drew Lock.
Bo Nix?
Didn't he go to? He went to Bo Nix. Bo Nix. I'm picking Bo Nix, baby. Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos, very good team this year, 14-3. I'm gonna pick the Eagles over them. Mostly because Matt, I want to have a great time watching the Super Bowl with you. I think it'll be great.
If our two teams play in the Super Bowl, people will die.
You'll leave very depressed. But I think it'll be great. Eagles go to another Super Bowl. I would love for it. Don't get me wrong. I think the best matchup would be against Josh Allen, because then Jalen Hurts can finally shut people up about Josh Allen being better than him, Patrick Mahomes being better than him. God, if Joe Burrow could ever win or make it into the playoffs, we would have the opportunity to beat him too. But I think it's going to be Eagles, Broncos. Broncos have been hot this year. I'm taking Eagles minus 40.5 in that game. And it's going to be a good one to watch it with you, Matt. So I'm excited. Shout out Bo Nix. Shout out Drew Lock.
All right, Mason, left you last. Super Bowl 60, Santa Clara, California, home of the 49ers.
I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Rams and the Denver Broncos.
Damn.
Whoa.
And
wow.
I don't know who to pick. The Broncos win it, baby. Let's go.
God. Broncos country.
Oh my, you're just setting me up for failure is what you're doing.
Emotional hedge.
Emotional hedge. Notice how I didn't include the Broncos, but okay. So I'm going Bills over Seahawks. Ethan's going Eagles over Bills. Pat's going Eagles over Broncos. And Mason's going Broncos over the Rams. So
that's right.
A lot of great matchups if we get there. So we'll see how things shake out this weekend. Wild card weekend. It should be a lot of fun. First time in a long time where I feel like the playoffs are wide open. So I hope everybody enjoys. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to check us out on all podcast platforms.